My name is Clyde Salumu Sharady, and I'm here today with two gentlemen from the Burundi community, and we're going to have a chat about one of the movies that have just been produced by the community. So without delay, I'll just get the gentlemen to introduce themselves.
My name is Hilari Bucumi. I came to Australia in 2005.
And my name is Belthrand, Habiyakare, and I came to Australia in 2007.
All right, so how have you guys been?
Good, thank you.
Very good.
All right, how's life in Australia?
Well, life in Australia looks better than what I lived back in the refugee camp in Tanzania in Africa.
Yeah.
And I would say the overall observation of mine and my family is impressive. It's good.
All right, that's good. How about yourself, Hilari?
Well, I would say that I'm doing quite fine in Australia.
Yeah.
We have so many opportunities. Children can go to school. Well, our health is well looked after. Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good. Are there many Burundians in Melbourne?
Well, it is around 400 people only, so it is not really a big community.
Okay.
Compared to some other African communities.
Yeah, like the Sudanese is like tens of thousands, and
that's a big number.
The Congolese is almost the same, like the Burundians, 400 or 500 of them. And where do they live? Do they live? Is there a place where there's concentration?
No, there's no specific place where Burundians live, but we might say that the majority lives in Dandenong, in the city of Greater Dandenong, and we have a few living in the north part of Melbourne, and other in this part of the west Melbourne,
which is about Sunshine,
Sunshine, St Albans, and Deer Park and the surrounding suburbs.
Yeah, you agree? So there's a lot. It looks like there's something that is attracting Burundians in Sunshine, St Albans, and Deer Park. There, what is it?
Well, I don't think there's maybe it's the sunshine, maybe. But, I don't think that is something special. It's just because when we first arrived here, we were put into houses that were ready for us.
Yes. And
you find yourself in that house, and this is, for example, Dandenong.
Yes.
And if no one tells you to move out of the house, then you're happy with it. You want to stay there.
You stay there.
Exactly.
And then another friend, another Burundian will come. Yeah. They want to be near you. Before you know it, it's the whole community.
We want to settle just close to other community members.
Exactly. Because, life in Australia can be quite isolated, and you need, the community to be there and stuff like that.
Yes, especially because people, the first people to arrive to Australia from Burundi came in 2004, I guess, around maybe September, October, like that. So already not a big number.
Yes.
And then another big group came in 2005. I was one of them.
Yes.
And then we are located in 3 different parts of Melbourne.
Yeah.
Which means when other people arrived, well, they wanted to settle near
those
people.
All right, let's talk about this movie thing. How did it start?
Well, it's maybe a long story, but it started out of ideas of people among the Burundian community. We had celebrated a few events without having any record of it, and we thought maybe we are lacking some knowledge to take the pictures or the movies and maybe produce something that we'll be able to show to our children when they grow up. And we came up with this idea of maybe asking around whether there was anyone who could help us to realize that goal. And luckily we had few people, I mean agencies and government departments wanting to help, and that's how we got started.
Wow, that's a brilliant idea. You want to be able to, because you want to leave something to the younger generations, even if when you're gone, they can look at what, the early people that came in Australia.
Exactly. But also for us, have a few skills, things like making a film or telling a story.
Yes.
This is something we did not do before. So if we can get that skill as well, would be beneficial.
Yeah.
And also any additional skills, this world is going so quickly. We never know when you will need a skill. So knowing how to edit a program is also
So did you have to learn all these technical skills?
Oh yeah, it took almost a year now.
Really?
It didn't happen every day, but every Saturday we were gathering somewhere to learn about how to, to write up a story, for example, how to edit that story and produce and make it into a movie, a film, that somebody can watch and understand what you actually want to say.
It takes a lot of skills for that.
It takes a lot, and we don't feel we've mastered that, but we at least have the basics that I can now go home and talk to my wife and children to make some funny moves, and I would take the pictures and make up a film. Yeah.
So, and when did the actual filming of the movie start, approximately?
Approximately started in September of the 2011.
Yes.
And we did it every Saturday, and we had facilitators from the Brown Cubs. Two of them, they were.
Who's Brown Cubs? Is that?
This is an organization. They have people who are experienced in the
movie making and stuff like
storytelling,
that.
And digital stories.
Okay.
Yes. And
did you need to do the digital editing and all that, or was it more about storytelling and they would do the technical editing thing?
The idea was to get us to know all of this, but we, of course, didn't do the editing of the film. Yeah. But we know how to edit to our level.
Yes.
That is high tech. That was done by our facilitator at the end of the project. Toward the end of the project, they got the stories together and they produced them. The film that you might have seen on Facebook. We have DVDs that we sell to people if they want to. It's only $10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
copies are available.
Available. Well, we'll put the details on the website. So if people want to buy the DVD, I'm sure that's one way to support you and to say thank you because it's a wonderful African experience, really.
Exactly.
So we've got to encourage people to support this sort of thing. And what's actually the movie about? What is it? Just tell me what's the movie about?
Okay, the movies, because we have 7 stories in total.
So like 7 movies, or pretty much short movies.
Short movies, 3-4 minutes like that.
Okay.
So we have various topics. Only nearly all of them go to one goal or one structure. It is telling the story of what we have been through, especially in Africa, in the refugee camp, and then our way to Australia, and what we are living in Australia now. Yeah, for some people then took the part, if I can put it, before arriving to Australia.
Yes.
Others talked about their journey to Australia.
Yes.
And
the rest,
about the life in Australia. There is, however, someone who took a different topic. He talked about the culture and talking about how he learned to play ingoma, the drum, the Burundian drum, which is a special one.
I love the Burundian drums. I see you guys with these massive drums out back. They're just fantastic.
And if I may add to that is it's funny how these 7 stories all converge to one idea, and the idea of expressing the past experience and the lives that we lead today.
Yes.
We did these stories separately.
Yes.
That means that the conflict that we've been through taught us the same lesson.
Yes.
And that was, a lesson of being depressed and anxious.
Yes.
And that's what we conveyed in that film.
In the film.
And then we, and most of the stories were talking about how we felt when we arrived to Australia. Of course, with few difficulties in the first days.
Yes.
I remember
everyone.
One of the film where my colleague Hilari was talking about people who come, they ringing and talking in English, want to sell you something, and they want you to sign a contract, and they don't even know what it is about. And you go, well, I can't hear you. I don't speak English. Well, you say that in Kirundi, of course. No English. Somebody keeps saying, this is a good business. I will give you this.
And you have no idea.
You have discount. You have this. You don't understand what that is.
Can be.
And the idea he was to say that unfortunately, some people among our community had suffered from the picking up the phone and saying yes to things that they didn't understand because they knew only one word, yes.
Yes, it's easy to say yes.
It's easy to say yes, but
and politely, when somebody calls you, politely you say yes.
And when you say yes, somebody else is recording.
Yeah.
And what do you get next month is
it's
bill.
A contract,
and
bill.
You have the bill is done. You already signed the bill on the phone. It never, because this is not our culture. We don't sign on a telephone.
No.
We have to actually put and physically put a signature, or at least
your digit, your thumb onto the.
So if you don't do that, you believe that I haven't signed anything, and you actually argue that I've never signed anything. But when they take you back and they go, well, did you actually say yes to something? Do you remember one day saying yes to anything? Oh no, I was answering a call.
And I was just being polite. That's funny, but that's good. I guess there's a room for us to be able to communicate our African culture to the rest of mainstream Australia, and this type of things, these sort of movies, do actually go a long way to convey some of those things. And don't you think that that it's actually a very good way of trying to improve the intercultural harmony between Africans in general and mainstream Australia?
Well, I would say it is a good way to do that, to achieve that goal. Because most of Africans, we don't have much occasions to talk to the wider community. Only if we organize like a culture days, things like that, if we participate into festivals or any other major event, which is not very common. We don't have so many occasions. So if we have an occasion like this one to tell our story, then it can reach the wider community in no time.
All right.
And I can say also that it's not only telling the wide, the general public about our experiences. It's also like being or feeling accepted in this society we live in, and we are new. Because remember, you come in this country, no one knows where you came from, no one knows what you've been through, and you have a feeling that when you go, for example, for a service and somebody's telling you something that you don't understand, you go, well, how can I make them understand what I've been through so that they can treat me accordingly? And we think that this, this opportunity is actually of great value, and it gives the idea, the people around us, of what we've been through and what we require to heal the wounds that
are within. I certainly agree, because I think stories are one of the best ways to communicate things. Even back in Africa, I remember, most of you would connect with that when you were young. Our mothers, and they would tell us stories, and they were not just stories to kind of make us have a good time, but they had a lot of lessons, they had a lot of things, and nowadays we don't have that opportunity anymore, but we do that through the movies, you see. You go to the
that's a modern way.
That's a modern way. So it's really, really good. And before we finish, what's the best thing that happened to you through this experience?
Well, this experience was played a tremendous role in my life. First of all, because I release some of my feelings to other people to experience, and that means I am relieved. And another thing is that, as you were saying, that we used to be telling our children what happened and this around the fire at night, but now I have a hope that my children, when they see the movie, and they've seen it already, but when they see it with an open eye and mind, they will understand, oh, Dad is sometimes angry like this because of this and that and that. That will help me in my parenting. And also, the other lesson is that that film that we made was an introduction, because that is like 1/100, 1 in 100 of the stories that I have, but that opened the doors to the possibility of making a an even longer film, or maybe writing a book about that, and trying to, to expose the people to the feelings of the new, the refugees. There's a big problem of refugees in this country and all around the world, of course.
Absolutely. Yes. What about you, Hilari?
Well, I would say it was a great opportunity for me. Like in my story, my short story, I express how I was stressed when I arrived to Australia. It was very difficult to get understood by people and to understand them as well. So through my story, I guess I can I can express my feelings, and the wider community can understand who I am, what I have been through, and my feelings, and how they can maybe help me better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm really, really happy for you joining us at Africa Media Australia to talk about this wonderful experience. I just hope that you don't go to Hollywood very soon. So that you
would be a good idea.
Yeah, who knows?
No
It always starts.
You all start like this.
It always starts
little by little.
Exactly. So if you don't go to Hollywood, maybe we'll get you again sometime to talk even more about some of the other wonderful things that are happening within your communities, because part of the reasons we've set up Africa Media Australia is to really have a platform where us Africans can share our stories, our issues, everything. There's a lot of positive things that are happening, such as this sort of experience, that don't get to be communicated widely. But then with some of our efforts, information being available over the internet, it means people can access it from anywhere, everywhere, all the time. So we want to thank you for making the time to come to see us today, and we hope to be able to see you again sometime for more stories.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.